It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag NFL.
I don't like getting too binary, but winning, that's a good response. But we can't get attached to the binary system that our league is judged on necessarily, because it is a 17-game season and the process has to be great. So just dig into the details in the process, enjoy it, practice well, and then let game day take care of itself.
Bring right back up. It just started John with C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Just what's the mentality like in those moments for you?
We don't take it. That's about it.
Aaron Rodgers on winning. Baker Mayfield on his nature as a player. Don't take bleep. The Dolphins have been taking bleep. Holy cow. Not a good start, and now they get the Bills. Yak, you want to go with your lock of the week on a Thursday night game and use the Bills early? Good
Nope,
team
not
versus
yet.
bad team. It would seem tempting. You going to save it? I've already used the
I already
Bills.
have mine picked. I'm holding on.
Oh, you've got one for the weekend. All right, get to our lock of the week. We're all 2-0. No one's made a mistake yet. Thursday injury updates from the NFL. 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy, significant progress in rehabbing his turf toe injury. There's a chance he could be cleared. He could be cleared to play this week as they take on the Cardinals. Did participate on a limited basis in practice this week. Chargers outside linebacker Khalil Mack's left elbow injury that he suffered Monday night is not season-ending. Jim Harbaugh says Mack will go on the IR, so that means he's out at least 4 games, but did not say what the injury was. And he said, he's like the Wolverine, one of the toughest things I've ever seen.
That's about as Jim Harbaugh as it gets.
Now back to turf toe. Cincinnati Bengals not ruling out Joe Burrow returning later this season despite his need to have surgery to fix a turf toe injury. And talk about him being out 3 months. Now the season's turned into a marathon here, so 3 months is mid-December. Maybe he's back for 2 to 4 regular season games at the end of the year. We'll see how that works out. Arizona quarterback Kyler Murray apologizing for a social media post that included him wearing a retro Michael Vick jersey and posting with one of his pet bulldogs, drawing criticism from Vick's dogfighting scandal. Doesn't seem to be much upside about posting about that. Social media stuff's all self-inflicted. Why post anything? Why? PK was just talking about staying off of it. Unless you're ordered to do it for work, and we are in a line of work where that happens. What are you getting out of that?
Not much.
Washington Commanders return to the District of Columbia as official. The Council of the District of Columbia voting in favor 11-2 to support the RFK Stadium project. Played there, I think, from the 60s.
3 decades.
Yeah, 30 years. A lot of legendary games in that stadium, which is now super run down.
They were there for 30 years, left for about 30, and now going
there's
back.
if you've ever been there, there's a massive amount of land around that stadium. Huge. We'll see what they can build there, but PK always talks about what they've done with the baseball project in Atlanta and building the whole, essentially, neighborhood around it.
The Battery, yeah.
Yep. You can clearly see where that could be done in Washington, D.C. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
College football is officially moving to a single off-season transfer portal window. The Division I Administrative Committee voted to approve a legislative change that eliminates the spring transfer window, but they did not sign off on establishing January 2nd to the 11th as the lone portal window for FBS and FCS players, meaning the length and dates of the winter window will be revisited and debated soon. February? Nobody's worried about academics now. Who cares if it's in the middle of a semester? The spring date was during the semester. What's the point? They're not there to play school. They're there to play football. It does seem weird to put a date in January 2nd and 11th. All right, you 4 teams that are still playing. Some of you guys are going to need to quit on your team in a very public way right now. Ready and go. And coaches already quit on team at times like that. But to make it a rule that that's the only place that you're allowed to leave your team seems like another step. I can't imagine that NBA free agency would begin during, right after Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals. That would seem weird to me. Colorado set to reinstall Caden Salter as the Buffalo starting quarterback against Wyoming. He started the first 2 games of the season before Ryan Staub started last week against Houston. Obviously, they lost that game to Houston. Houston off to a 3-0 start. South Carolina star quarterback Lenore Sellers questionable on the SEC availability report issued yesterday after he left the Gamecocks' 31-7 loss to Vanderbilt. He got a hit to the head in that game. So, listed as questionable. We're getting into conference, so we're going to have to get used to this in the Big 12. It starts this week.
And we got our first one for Utah yesterday, and we'll talk about it.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
Fly ball to left. This is going to do it. Ian Happ is there, and the Cubs are in the playoffs. The Cubs are going to be a postseason team here in 2025.
Here's the 2-1 now, Tuve. And he rips it. Left field and deep for Altuve, his 26th of the season.
Peterson delivers. Manny swings, sends it in the air to left field. Nimmo's backing up. He is watching. It's going to go! A grand slam for Manny Machado. Home run number 26 is a big one in the Big Apple. And the Pods go back ahead at 6-2.
You betcha.
Ohtani with a high drive, right center field. This ball is gone! How's that for insurance? Number 51 on the season for Shohei Ohtani. He's coming home to make it 4-0 Dodgers.
Dodgers beat the Phillies 5-0. Ohtani's home runs, and the dude's a big-time star, so every time he hits one, especially now that he's gotten to 50, everyone's a big deal. But Blake Snell struck out a season-high 12 batters. It's the kind of pitching you need to win in the postseason right there. That's got to make Dodger fans feel good.
He also didn't want to leave, come out of the game.
Like more pitchers to do that. People won Cy Youngs and World Series, and the world didn't end. And I know they throw harder and more breaking stuff, and they're trying to protect their arms. But honestly, don't we just have just nonstop Tommy John surgery updates in this segment? It's not working. Plus, is he trying to be tough guy, set the tone for the team and the staff? We're going to do this. It's mid-September. None of this peak and early stuff now. We're into the last week of the season. Here comes the postseason. Heard the Padres win. They beat the Mets 7-4. Are the Mets going to get that last spot in the playoffs? Is anybody who gets that spot going to do anything? I mean, you'd say probably not, but, man, the Diamondbacks, they got in. Didn't look like they were set up to do anything, but they did a couple years ago, so... The race is on. Well, it's been on. It continues right down to the wire here. The Mets still a game and a half up on the Diamondbacks, 2 on the Reds, 2 on the Giants. Giants beat the Diamondbacks 5-1. Arizona spoiling a 9-inning, 1-hit bid by Brandon Pfaadt. Did I pronounce his name right? P-F-A-A.
I believe so, yeah.
And you heard the Cubbies clinch. They're in. They beat the Pirates 8-4. Seattle's 10-game win streak is over. They were beaten by the Royals 7-5. Cleveland sprinting towards the postseason. They are on the outside looking in the wild card race. 2.5 games behind the Red Sox, 2.5 games behind the Mariners, 4.5 behind the Yankees, who are in a much more comfortable situation here. But Cleveland, trying to keep the heat on, has won 6 in a row here. They just beat Detroit 4-0. Bees beat the Aviators 11-6. They'll play again tonight, 8 o'clock. Tony Park's on the air at 7:50. DJ and PK.
Hashtag RSL.
Yedlin into the air for Luna, making a run to the end line. Turns, cuts it back for Ojeda. Ojeda, square ball. Caliscan shot, deflected, and a spectacular goal! Gozo throws himself at the bar! Half-side volley, half-bike, and Gozo with an athletic finish. And RSL has a goal in the 76th minute. Junqua tries to send it in. It's beyond everybody. It's Boanga. Boanga one-on-one with Cabral. Out comes Cabral. Laid off. Shot. A goal. Son has the hat trick in the 82nd minute. It's 3-1, and he puts it to bed.
Ambulanga adds another goal, and LAFC beats RSL 4-1. Big game in the playoff race. Pablo Mastroeni saying a week and a half ago they had to win 5 of the last 7, and they beat Kansas City, but now they lose here, so now they need to win 4 or 5. And they got road games at LAFC Sunday, and then in October they got to go to Seattle. 2 places they don't usually win. But if they're going to hit the numbers Pablo was talking about, they're going to need to win in one of those places. LAFC moves past Seattle into 4th in the West. Gives them home field in the first round if they hold on to it, and you would expect they would because they added Son here in the summer window. And he did have an early goal, but his impact in the last 2 games, he's clearly fitting in. Scored in the first minute in San Jose in their last game, and then gets the hat trick last night. RSL beaten on the counter again and again. Pablo talked about moments afterwards. They were really good for long stretches. He was really critical of the 2 second-half goals that they just should have fouled and stopped those plays. But they didn't. They get beat 4-1. And at the end of the game, Victor Olatunji got a red card for a headbutt. So now he's out for the LAFC game. They'll be shorthanded there. It's not looking good. It's still doable. 4 teams separated by 1 point for the last playoff berth, but that was definitely a blow. They'll play in BMO Stadium in Los Angeles Sunday. You'll hear the game on the Zone. And Gozo's goal, it's in defeat, so it's a foot net, but wow. Wow. He's 18 years old. He's out there with grown men, and he pulls that out? Yeah, that was unbelievable. But ultimately, it didn't matter. Not converting the penalty a few minutes before that, it's always a massive momentum swing. He could have gotten back in the game. Who knows at 2-1 if everything would have broken the same way and Gozo's goal would have tied it up 2-2, but opportunity squandered for sure. Apparently, Cruz is great at taking penalties. It's the first one I have seen him take. I guess he's taken them at training, but I haven't been out there when he's done it. It surprised me because Luna had been taking it, and Luna was 2 for 2 on the year. This isn't a team that earns a lot of penalties. Olatunji earned it, getting taken down in the 6-yard box. But they went with Cruz, and he couldn't score, and it might not have mattered anyway the way LAFC was piling up goals. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NHL.
Utah Mammoth opened training camp formally today. Team will practice in 2 groups at the new facility. We had on Bill Armstrong late in yesterday's show. You can get it wherever you get your podcasts. And he talked about the new facility and having 2 rinks and explained that, a little bit of snow on the ice, just the shavings as players skate around, cut, accelerate, that kind of stuff, slows down the ice. This is a fast team. The ice is going to be better at the Delta Center, and it's going to be better at their new facility in Sandy. This team's going to play fast, and you're going to see it.
Well, in the new facility, there was a soft opening for. I went down and toured it, and pretty incredible what they're building. Now, there's a long way to go still.
Connor Ingram and the team mutually agreeing to part ways. He will likely end up waivers, so that'll give him a chance to get his pick of NHL teams or go to the AHL play. I mean, he didn't play much last year. Get some sharpness and then wait for inevitably something's going to happen and somebody's going to get hurt and somebody's going to need a goaltender. So Connor Ingram will be moving on. That's what's trending. Brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. Coming up, Barry Trammell, sports columnist for the Tulsa World at 8 o'clock. Talk Big 12 football with him. A good schedule of games this week. Several intriguing games. A couple of them non-conference games, but several intriguing conference games as well. And we will get his thoughts on those games coming up at 8 o'clock. And then Mark Harlan, University of Utah Athletic Director, at 9 o'clock. In advance of the battle of unbeaten 3-0 teams, nationally ranked, 16th ranked Utah, 17th ranked Texas Tech. And Big Noon showing up. We'll talk with Mark Harlan coming up at 9 o'clock. DJ and PK, it's 97.5 The Zone. The question of the day is next.
It's game week for the Cougars, and the KSL Sports Zone is getting you ready for kickoff. It's the first road trip of the year for the Cougars as they make the long flight east for a showdown against East Carolina. Listen all week long for the best coverage of Cougar football. Then catch a special early edition of College Football Saturday starting at 8 a.m. with a postgame show immediately following the game on KSLSports.com. Your home for the best coverage of BYU football is live on air, online, and on the KSL Sports app. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Nominate the youth sports volunteer that you know for the Hercules Hero of the Week. Submit your nomination at kslsports.com/contest. And listen every Thursday afternoon to JJ and Alex for the winner. Help us celebrate the efforts of those volunteers making an impact with the Hercules Hero of the Week. Sponsored by Hercules First Federal Credit Union and Beehive Meals.
DJ and PK, it is time for Hot Takes or Toast. And the question of the morning, Texas Tech's injury report lists 14 players. Utah's injury report lists 4 players. What gives? Raising eyebrows, PK.
Well, just a healthy group of people.
That is what Ryan says. I guess Texas Tech has more injured players. Shane says it's King Kyle at his best. He thinks the league should just bow down to him. Did he release a depth chart, or is that still beneath him?
It's beneath him.
DC Johnson, Shane, they've only got 4 injured players, LOL, but you keep doing you, boo-boo.
And the other one says 14? That's just a rash of injuries?
Yeah, I mean, you could say that, but when they're listing them as probable, I don't know if you should even consider an injury. I mean, they're on the report, but if they're probable in a game of this magnitude, I assume they're playing.
Well, that's the way you're supposed to do it, though. Yeah. They're adhering to the rules.
Yes.
Utah.
No probables, no questionables, no doubtful. 4 guys are out.
4 guys out, the rest of it, don't worry about it.
And 2 of them are out for the season. Like, we already knew Rabbit Evans was out for the season. And Baker and Zipper are out for the season.
Right.
Josh Sovereign and Isaiah Garcia, safety and offensive lineman, are the other 2 guys on the report.
I wish them nothing but the best health in their long road to recovery.
That a kid. Logan Fano, who left the Wyoming game.
He did?
Not on the report. And Dallas Vakalahi, not on the report.
He left the game?
Played 12 snaps. Vakalahi has missed the last 2 games. Now, you could say, well, he was pretty healthy, but maybe they're just...
Don't they have that at the end of May, at the end of school, the baccalaureate?
That's not the same word.
Oh. Wow, you should have seen that goal. Would it have made any difference if it was 28?
Yes, it would have. It would have been totally different.
Wow.
Although they lost 4-1, so... And what does that change ultimately?
I don't know, ingratiate you more with the club. That's important.
Yeah.
This is Kyle, still doing his thing.
Putting it all on the trainer.
I wonder why he has decided to go down that Rabbit Evans hole.
What's the difference if you list Fano as probable or not?
I mean, he's been playing these games for years, and how much did it help last year?
It did not.
Right.
If you're down to your 5th quarterback.
I don't know why he wants to draw the line on this thing and why it gets under his skin. I find it amusing.
They could put Fano on as probable, and everyone assumes he's playing.
But he's making a point.
Yeah.
This is his Steve Kerr, Greg Popovich. I've won, therefore I have the right to say whatever I want.
No, I don't want to do this.
Right.
So we'll give him something, but we're not giving him everything.
Right. So if he was in his 1st or 2nd year or...
I think the injury report under Morgan Scalley would be a little more detailed and expansive.
Yeah, you have no credibility as a head coach. You got to play by the rules. I mean, what's the point of having leverage if you don't use it, right?
And if he gets a call from the league, he's just going to say, there's no probable to Fano. He's playing.
Well, no, he's going to say, talk to the trainer.
Well, he has said that to the media already.
So why?
Which, of course, the trainers have been off limits for so long. Who gets to talk to a trainer?
I only know what they tell me. He's just going to adroitly pass the buck.
To someone who's not available to the media.
Wait, that's up to somebody else. Does he decide whether the trainer is allowed to speak or not? I don't know how that
back
works.
to your point about winning, I think he could. I think if Kyle decides to weigh in on something because he's A, the football coach, and B, the football coach who's won a lot, and C, won a lot for a long time, I think his opinion matters. Carries weight.
On this?
On anything.
On this?
if he wanted the trainer to talk, I'll bet the trainer could talk.
Oh, I know the trainer can talk.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I am absolutely 100% positive that Dr. Petron can talk.
Well, we've had him on this very show.
We have. And what happened the last time we asked to have him on? How'd that work out?
I've golfed with him.
I had a kid.
There is a provision now in every one of their releases that team doctors need to go through the proper channels to get.
I'm positive
and when
he
you
can
do
talk.
that, you'll get told
and
no.
he can play golf too. He's a good golfer.
Good.
So he's able to talk. I don't understand why this is a big deal. But he's got the leverage. Isn't this is the same thing as Kerr and Popovich, is it not?
You're right. All coaches have won, and all coaches have won for a long time.
Yeah. If you win doesn't mean you have to weigh in. I mean, Kerr managed to tell us what he thought just about on everything, as long as it went a certain way. I mean, the thing that happened here recently, it was involved, and he got nothing to say. I mean, but it didn't fit what he's looking for. So, I mean, that's the way of the world. Dennis Rodman didn't wear a wedding dress when he was trying to make the team.
Good move.
Right.
After a few 20 rebound games,
yeah,
go shopping for veils.
And he became.
Is it too detailed?
Do you think he actually went to the? I don't know. They have wedding gown stores.
They must.
Oh, they do.
Try a few on.
There's an entire reality series called "Say Yes to the Dress" that exists. So
I was gonna say go to the mall, but does anybody go to the mall anymore?
Well, that was 20 years ago. They were still going to the mall then.
I don't know. Do you shop for wedding dresses online? Yeah. Is that the way that works? And then the Amazon shows up at your door. Here's a wedding dress. And they put it in a package on your doorstep and take a picture.
I don't see how that would work. I think they need fittings and all that kind of stuff or something. I don't know.
So he's decided that this is going to be a big issue for him. I'm entertained by it. I'm glad he does it.
There is no probable and doubtful. This is Texas Tech.
Right.
Everybody will have a helmet, and everybody's standing on the sideline ready to have their name called.
Yeah. And clearly that's not going to be the case. But, I mean, what's the consequence?
Eventually, the league could fine him, I guess. But I don't know who wants to spend a lot of time doing that. Maybe they have to if other schools start complaining. I mean, this week you can pretty much say, oh, nobody was really hurt. We were holding them out. We were going to win those games by a lot. Everybody's healthy, and everybody's going to play. Period. End of story. No probable.
Okay, but
there's a lot.
Couldn't Texas Tech do the same thing?
They could. Because don't we all look at that and assume in a game of this magnitude, if you're listed as probable, oh, you're ready to go.
Well, I think any conference game. This game has no more magnitude than next week against West Virginia. In terms of the standings, I realize the hoopla around it is way bigger, but as Majerus would always say, until they start counting 2-for-1s, they're all the same. So, if you got to November and it was a winner-take-all, that's another story. But we're not there, so I don't see the magnitude of it. I don't know that there's any team. That's the great thing about the Big 12, and I think they need to keep continuing to push that as much as possible, that there is no game in which if you wanted to keep out key players, you can get by. Going into it. Maybe as the game unfolds, it ends up being that way, but on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you don't know that. And in the Mountain West, you most definitely knew that when they were there.
Don't need you for the New Mexico game.
No, that's
got it covered.
Right. And so they were able to do that. And that's the great thing. The Big 12, I don't believe you can do that. I don't think that there's any game you can go into and say, absolutely, we are confident and this list of players can sit out and nurse a nagging injury. Not a severe one where obviously you can't play, but a nagging one that could be aggravated, and then you've got TCU next week. something along those lines. Those, it seemed like towards the end of the Mountain West, it was BYU, TCU, and Utah. And other than that, it was rare that those teams lost to any other teams. And it came down to that little round robin of those three at that time. Here, I just don't see it.
Not at this point in the season. Maybe somebody will have injuries and let go
things
of the
wear
rope.
down.
Yeah, later in the year.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State got blown out multiple times at the end of last season.
So did Utah.
Yeah.
Maybe not multiple times, but I was there in Colorado.
Yeah, that one without question.
They got smoked. So as far as I expect everybody who can play, whether I don't know how they determine questionable, probable, and all these other things. I understand what Yormark is trying to do, but if you don't have buy-in, then it doesn't work. This is the NBA All-Star Game version of the injury report. It becomes a joke, then it becomes useless and non-important. And that's what the NBA All-Star Game has become as they try to figure out. They've already decided what they're going to do for the 26 All-Star Game, but I'm extremely intrigued when that fails what they do for the 27 All-Star Game.
Interesting format. I wonder what the next one will be.
Right. Right. Have a different format every year. Do a different format every year for 10 years and then see what you have. What looked good for you? Was it in 26? Was it in 29? And take the best of the formats and discard the rest. And so it's the same thing here. If you don't have buy-in, then it becomes useless. But who wants to go ahead and whine about it as far as, Joey McGuire? If he starts whining about Utah's injury report or lack thereof, he's got no time or patience for that. But then it becomes useless, and then it just dies or nobody pays attention to it. So this is a perilous moment for the injury report in the Big 12.
Some coaches, maybe not Kyle, but some coaches got tired of gamblers pestering everyone in the program for info, and Sarkisian made it clear he'd rather have it out. So I assume I haven't seen theirs. Yeah, I know, and it's Texas, and there's way more eyes on that program, right. So maybe there's way more going on there.
I wouldn't compare that to.
Yeah. But how many teams in the and is that because it's the University of Texas, or is that just football in Texas and at Texas Tech, Baylor, Houston?
I think it's around the world, but certainly
TCU.
Texas. I mean, I just don't know that, no offense to either of these guys, the receiver dude, how many passes did he catch, and Rabbit Evans are going to change the outcome of the game.
And they're out for the season, so those are ones he's always been willing to give up. He'll put that on there.
Well, yeah.
See, look, I did it.
I mean, Dillingham was talking about their best defensive back. Their all-conference guy is going to be out for several weeks. That's a major blow. But other than that, how many of these gamblers know, Logan Fano only played 12 plays. He may be a little banged up. Now, if it's a quarterback, well, then it's another story.
Right.
So I don't know how much these injury reports really affect the gambling. Is gambling, and what's the difference there? I mean, it's not like gambling is going to take a hit or go away because of an injury report. If you're uncertain about betting on game A, well, then you just take that money and bet on game B. So the same amount of money is going to be laid down every week.
And I don't know inside the Texas program, although Sark is the one who's publicly advocated for this, when someone is questionable or doubtful or probable or whatever, are gamblers still trying to find out what does that mean? Has it stopped the phone calls or has it slowed them down inside the Texas program?
I
have
a hard time believing that the players are being besieged by Vinny No-Neck.
Well, Sark's point was that Vinny No-Neck was also calling equipment people and managers.
And I have a hard time believing they're being besieged.
Why else would he care about an injury report? Because he comes back to coaches have a lot of stuff to worry about.
Because it's something to complain about. He stood there, and the person on the television was going to tell him when to run out on the field, and he screamed at him, "Don't touch me," and made a big stink about it because they got power. And if you have power and don't use it, what's the point of having power? That's why he did that. Why scream at a schmo who's got a headset on and
is
telling
waiting
them,
to be told, hey, okay,
right.
Have him run now.
Right. But I've got the power, and you touched me. How dare you do that? And I'm on edge because I'm about to go into a game. So my nerves are heightened and all that stuff. And so you touched me, and I guarantee you, if it was the grad assistant, he wouldn't have yelled at the guy. It goes back to power. Power and money. If you have both of them, you don't take anything from anybody, ever. You're the one who dishes it out. So this power play that the U chooses to exhibit, I find it highly entertaining. It's needless. They could have put 50 guys on there, and who cares?
Yeah. All the guys who did get dinged up and held out, or were held out so they didn't get dinged up, they could just list them as probable.
Yeah. And so
Which
Dillingham has an
comes
extensive
next.
list because he's got no street cred.
Give him a couple more conference titles.
Well,
We'll see if
yes,
the list
absolutely.
changes.
Yeah, if he has 5 by the time he's 40, then absolutely. He can put Bozo the Clown on that list if he so desires. And nobody's going to bat an eyelash. And nor would Yormark or whoever is the conference commissioner or whatever form of conferences they have at that point, because you want that person to be there if he's bringing your conference glory. And Utah hasn't brought the conference glory yet, but they will. Could be as soon as this season. Does anybody think they're going to go between now and 10 years, they're going to go every year without winning? I don't think so. They got as good a chance as anybody to win it right now. So you don't want to rock the boat there. And then you create a story, a negative story. These people are so, averse to negative stories. They want to spin everything positive. Why? Because money's at stake.
They think that'll make more people show up.
Yeah.
Although people do embrace the negative sometimes.
Has Yormark ever said anything negative about his conference?
It's awesome.
Everything is positive. And all the people who stand to benefit from the conference doing well, and then their paychecks are continuing to come and grow, they do nothing but praise him. That's the way it works. And it'll continue to work that way. Don't we all get that? Don't we all see that in the current world in which we live? Which side of the aisle you're on? Well, I'm on this side, so I got to present it positively. Why? So this side can make more money. Or in the case of this stupid politics, so ding-dongs would vote for this side. And if you get on that train, so to speak, then that's what you do. I choose to be off of it, and whether there's 0 people on the list or there's 50 people on the list, what difference does it make once that ball is in the air on Saturday? But I do find it entertaining that they want to make it an issue.
It'll make the difference in whether Logan Fano runs out there, and everybody thinks Logan Fano's going to run out there.
Logan Fano?
Yes.
He'll make the difference? I love me Logan Fano.
All right. Let's go.
I did not even know that he came out after 12 plays on Saturday.
There you go.
I did not know. And I watched the whole game. How did you know that? Did they say it?
The Deseret News has a story on it.
Oh. And they counted the plays?
Apparently, yes.
Nice.
Yes.
That's my in-depth reporting.
See, there you
go.
go.
You notice you didn't go to any TV website.
Did not.
No, you go to the hardcore.
Shout out to Joe Coles. Way to go, Joe.
Joe, don't call me Bimbo Coles.
Famous Coles. Go. Or famous Joe's, either one.
I eat at Joe's.
Ooh.
But yeah, I assume he'll play, and he'll have a significant, or potentially have a significant impact. You never know how games are going to play out. But obviously he's a player, and you want him there for literally as many plays as he could possibly play because he's that good. Sure, I understand that. But I honestly did not know that it was only 12 plays and that something potentially could have been wrong. Was it just they just took him out because they knew they didn't have to worry about playing him? Or did he have some
wouldn't surprise me. I mean, they've got some depth at that position, and the defense is playing great, so... And whether they decided it all at once or just a series at a time, I don't know.
Doesn't everybody say they have depth at every position except quarterback?
Yeah, I guess the question is, do you buy it? Not always, because sometimes you do hear coaches say, we've really got to get the twos ready. That was Kyle's thing for a while with the offensive line. How's the offensive line? It's great, but we really got to get the twos ready. So I guess you can apply at that point
Well, that means they're not good enough
yeah.
at that point in time,
right.
But most likely they will be when it's their turn. I mean, that's the way the U of U and a lot of programs work. And that's what makes this thing up at for the University of Utah, their football program. That's what makes it so impressive is that kids come and go, whether it's eligibility or transfer. They haven't been, I don't think they've been crushed by kids leaving. They've had a few, obviously, that we understand that. But I wouldn't label their program as one that the transfer portal of kids leaving has become a significant problem. It's a problem, but it's no more a problem than anywhere or everywhere. But what they do so well, to the point where it's a marvel. Wondering how do they do it? How do they just replace fill in the blank whomever, and then they put in another group comes along. They've been doing this with linebackers. It seems like 10 years now, and they've been putting guys into the NFL for so long. Who's the latest? I'm to the point, DJ, that if they are caught short, that's the surprise. Not that they've got this group or that group playing well. That's what's amazing to me.
I think that's why the backup quarterbacks leaving are such a big deal because it creates a void that they don't normally have, and it creates it at the most important position.
I think a lot of schools have it now more than ever, though.
Yes.
But all the other positions where you need numbers, the U of U seems to have numbers year after year, and I'm so impressed by that.
And I've listened to former quarterbacks talk, and a bunch of them have said it now, that the quarterback play is suffering because quarterbacks, more than anyone, need continuity, and they're not getting it. And if they stay put, coaches are moving. If they move, then obviously they're going to, well, not always, but most of the time if they move, they're going to be working with new coaches. Obviously what the Utes have, they're benefiting from the fact, well, the offensive coordinator and the coach are both new, but because they worked together last year, you got a quarterback making a lot of good decisions.
How does that compare? I mean,
to what?
A coach is leaving now? Is it more of an academic than it was before?
No, it just goes to between the players transferring, the coaches moving. How many players get to play in the same system?
Well, sure, but if a player transfers, don't complain about lack of continuity.
Right, but what the former quarterbacks are saying is it's stunting these guys' development, and you just got to go through the hard times.
But standing on a sideline and not playing stunts it even more. You're chasing a dream.
Well, I think that's
Most
their
of the
point
time,
is that it stunts the dream, but moving stunts it even more.
They got such a finite time. I get it. It doesn't always work out. In a lot of cases, it doesn't work out. But they're chasing a dream, and staying there isn't any guarantee that the dream will happen, nor is it going to school wherever. But yet, that's the situation because when we were in high school, they had 4 stars or whatever, and they went to the elite camp, and they get in panic mode. I'm not going to make the NFL unless I do this. Yeah, it's an epidemic at that position, and we see it all the time, literally every single year.
And Arch Manning's a high-profile example, and he's a guy who is staying put, but if it doesn't pay off for him, then that just reinforces the message, take off.
Gotta go.
Gotta go, right. DJ PK, we gotta go. It's 97.5 The Zone. Artist of the day is Jimi Hendrix, the rock and roll legend, passing away on this day in 1970. Brought to you by Live Nation. For all the live concerts and events in 2025, check out livenation.com.
I remain disappointed in Kyle. Why such a low grade on Devon Dampier? If Ralphie, in his essay fantasy, got an A+++++, why is Dampier only getting an A+?
The Utes meet Christmas Story. Join us on the Zone.
Isn't he better than that? Isn't he an A+++++?
Not until you win a conference game. Got to leave room to upgrade him later when he beats
Well, then
the
you could
ranked
add another
opponent.
plus.
That's it. To infinity and beyond.
Has there ever been a player who's come in this program and have this dramatic of an impact and received such universal praise as Double D, Devon?
Who's the wide receiver from Oregon?
Darren Carrington?
Yes. That would be the best. I think Dampier is at the top of the list, and partly it's the position he plays. And also, he comes in after a year where the spotlight was on that position, and they went through 5 guys.
Spotlight's always on this position.
It is.
But it was so bad.
It was so bad, right. And so it's such a difference. And I think also he's helped himself because, the numbers, people like Riley or Frank would come on. Riley always mentions the touchdown-interception ratio. And as long as he keeps the 0 on that interception line, I mean, that's, an eye-popping stat.
This guy has the potential to go down as the greatest quarterback in Utah history.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. And I'll give you the reason why once you name the name that I know you're going to name.
Well, you want me to name Alex Smith.
But he's only 1 year to that level.
Well, I was going to say 2.
I was going to say there's
2
one other
conference
name.
titles. I mean, the undefeated
There's
season
no other
was
name.
staggering.
And I love Lee Gross Cup.
Not even Brian Johnson?
Again, 1 year. He has the potential. If it's only 1 year, then no. Although it remains to be seen what level year. So I amend that.
Amended. Noted.
But as a junior, has the ability to come back. And whatever he does this year, that'll be the standard, the minimum standard.
Match it or top it.
Yes. And I believe whatever he does this year, provided he has the health, next year, he'll meet that, maybe top it. Now, they'll lose a bunch off the offensive line.
Right.
They literally could lose everyone. All 5 guys. We'll see how that plays out.
We'll see how it plays out, but that would actually be a reasonable prediction right now.
Yeah. And then you can get transfers. And again, I just talked about, I'm always amazed how they always just fill in the new guy or guys.
Doesn't mean they'll have a bad line next year.
Right.
But it will be different.
But to one degree or another, it'll be different.
Probably to a large degree.
Yeah,
maybe,
I would think.
Maybe completely.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Right. So, but projection-wise, if he continues on the pace that he is, then yeah, because both of those guys, and they had great seasons, there's no doubt about it. And Alex had more than one, but this is such a higher level. You're not playing in the Liberty Bowl.
That is the biggest thing. And whatever he could do in the playoff could really
That's what I'm talking about. And the
if
Sugar
it
Bowl,
gets
for
to that
as
point.
great as it was, is still reduced to a secondary bowl.
Right. Well, the Alabama people could and did say, consolation prize, didn't want to be here. Nobody can say that about a playoff game.
It's 2 different things there. You don't want to be there because you want to be someplace else. Not, I don't want to be here because I want to be home. So as far as Alabama losing,
you weren't fully
I don't care about
motivated.
that.
You didn't beat them giving their best effort.
Yeah, but
that was the message.
That's on them. That's their problem.
It is.
But it's still nevertheless.
The thing about Alex
it's a
is
footnote.
He went number 1 in the draft, and he's the first person in the Ring of Honor, and they felt like they had to put him in by himself to really put the spotlight on him. I mean, Alex is a very high bar.
And he should be. But Dampier has the possibility to supersede it.
Yeah, I mean, they're 3-0, so I guess 17-0 would supersede it. That'd be top shelf.
Well, if you did that, then that'd be a no-brainer.
Alex, what did he throw his senior year? I think like 4 picks the whole season.
I think it was like 36-4.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. It was video game numbers. Out of control, fantastic.
But this competition is way tougher.
It is.
Yeah.
So he's got that going for him. And the postseason could be much more gratifying.
That's what I'm talking about.
As opposed to Alex got handed, well, we didn't want to let you in, but we're kind of painted into a corner, so here's an 8-3 team whose coaches quit.
Yeah. That was a joke.
The 04 Utes got a bad draw.
Right.
They didn't get to really test
It was
themselves.
just a party in the Phoenix area. Yeah. It wasn't a competitive
It was
game.
a great party. No.
It was
but
a week-long
Auburn was sitting
competitive
there
party.
undefeated, and that
Yeah, I know. The Utes got screwed up.
Put a battle of unbeatens together, and let's see that.
Yeah. Brady Papinga heaped praise on Utah, and he played 3 undefeated teams that year.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5 The Zone. When we come back, Barry Trammell on the Big 12, a couple intriguing non-conference games, and finally, big conference games. We'll get to that with Barry next. Stay with us.